in math skills, we have been talking about what a globe is. And we also talked about what Earth's land and water are called. Raise your hand if you can remember from last week, what is our Earth's water called? Riley, what is it called? Riley, what's our Earth's water called? What are those big areas of water called?
Lakes.
Well, a little bigger than a lake. We have lakes in Minnesota. We have over 10,000 lakes.
What?
But what are the really big areas of water called? Raylan?
Ocean.
Oceans. So we talked about our oceans, and we have learned that there is the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Southern Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I might have said Pacific twice. There's 5 oceans, and there are 7 of these big pieces of land. What are the big pieces of land called? LEA. It's a really big word.
Consonant.
Do you remember, Ellie, or did you forget? I'll come back to you. Wyatt.
Consonant.
Continents. Good job, Wyatt. Now, there's 7 continents. There's North America, South America, Antarctica, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Who remembers from last week, what continent do we live on? Brooklyn?
South America.
No, not South.
North.
North America. We're in North America, right? Our country, the United States, is in the middle of North America. Okay? Now, the oceans are the Pacific, Atlantic, Southern, Arctic, and Indian.
Is it Arctic or like, what's the biggest ocean?
Well, it'd probably be the Pacific Ocean. Now, do you guys notice that there's the Pacific Ocean here and the Pacific Ocean here? How come they have it twice? There's only one Pacific, but how come it's on both sides? Kinsley.
Because how big it is.
Well, kind of. It's pretty big. But that's not why it's on both. Aria?
I forgot.
You forgot?
I know.
What, Louis, what do you think?
Because there's 2 states.
Well,
Wait, hold on.
hold on. Okay, not two really states. But if you guys look at
I'm picking one.
if you look at my round
One
globe,
does everything.
and if I find the Pacific Ocean, which is right here, if I cut this globe in half right here, and I unfold it, the Pacific Ocean is going to be on both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
So that is why, because when our globe is round, it's 3D. But if Mrs. Murphy were to cut it down the middle and make it flat and I would open it, this is what it would look like. Some of it would be on this side of the map and some of it would be on the other side of the map. So that's why it's on there twice. There's not really 2 Pacific Oceans. It's just one really big one. Okay?
Yeah,
Now, down here it says a map is a special kind of drawing of a place. A globe is round, but a map is flat, like a piece of paper. Some maps, like globes, show the whole earth at once. The map on this page shows the 7 continents of the world. It shows oceans too. Now, if you look back here at Mrs. Murphy's map, I think I showed you this last week, didn't I?
Yeah, can you keep it down for
Did I show you both of them or just one?
No, one.
Which one did I show you?
That one.
Did I show you the I can't remember. Did I show you this one?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Wait.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the second one. I'm
Okay.
looking.
So, Mrs. Murphy has a couple maps here. This map is just of our country, the map. However, guys, I also have another map that is of our whole world. Oh, isn't that cool?
How did you switch it?
Well, there's actually two of them. See that?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait, but how did you get that one so we away? Miss Murphy.
It's kind of like magic.
Do that again. Do that again.
Just
Like
like
a 4.
it is. Now, this map is the one that we see in our map skills book. So this is of our whole world.
I can see it.
And so this is showing us our whole world, where this map is only showing us our country, or our United States. Okay?
It covers the window.
So there's different kinds of maps. There's even a map of Minnesota. I don't have one of Minnesota, but I will show you one in a few lessons. There's a map of Minnesota. There's even a map of Grenada. So you can make maps from the cities, from the state, from the countries to the world.
How many maps
Okay.
do you have?
I only have the two maps. And one thing about this map, I forgot to tell you guys, you don't ever touch this map because it's old. And don't, when I pull this down, don't come up here because one time I accidentally let go of this too fast. And guess what happened? It went flying up and it came off of here and it hit one of my second graders.
What one?
You know who it was?
Noggin.
It was Riley's brother Jack, but Jack was such a good. He didn't get hurt, but it scared us. So when I learned my lesson,
Did he
whenever I pull
dodge
this
it?
down, it's really kind of tricky, and it's really only for the teachers. And don't be by me because I don't want anyone to accidentally get bumped or hurt. Okay? Just a second. We're gonna do the bottom of this, and then we can share in a minute. Okay?
Did he like dodge it?
He almost dodged it. He kind of got hit a little bit, but.
That happens to me too. One time, someone kicks the ball, goes flying in the air. I understand what I'm doing. I'm like,
We're gonna have our second math skills lesson later.
under my
Okay.
desk. Yeah, so like they kick it. I'm talking right.
Okay, on the bottom of this page,
Oh,
we're gonna think about this. We don't have to write today. They're gonna make it easy on us. I want you to think about how easy would it be to carry a globe around? So think of this globe. If I wanted to go somewhere in the world, would I want to carry this globe around with me? Or what else could I probably take with me? Carla, a map. And now, you guys probably don't even know this, but when Mrs. Stewart and I wanted to go places, we would have to pull out a map to get to that place, and we would have to look at it for us to tell us where to go. Now, do you guys ever see your mom and dads pull out maps? Yes? No?
Because my dad never uses GPS signal.
Oh, Eli!
Yeah.
You guys said some of your moms, dads don't pull out maps, they use GPS or their phones?
My dad uses GPS.
Yes. So you guys probably will never really get to experience. You guys probably won't get to experience maps like Mrs. Stewart and I did, because we would actually have to pull out a map and try to follow it, where you guys have GPS on your cars or your vehicles or even your phones. And I do in my vehicle now, but when I was telling my daughter Brooklyn, when I first started learning how to drive and I had to go to the Twin Cities, I would have to follow a map, and that kind of made me nervous because it was kind of hard. But now when I go to the Twin Cities, I don't worry as much because my car tells me where I need to go. And so I don't get as worried because it's a lot easier now. So you guys will have it a lot easier than Mrs. Stewart and I did. And sometimes I remember when I was younger, I would get lost because I wouldn't follow the map correctly, or even there was like road construction and I'd have to go a different way, and that was a lot of work.
So 10 o'clock wasn't connected to GPS.
It was not. It was not. They didn't have that
My grandma had GPS signal.
Now, last thing we're gonna talk about.
My dad has an Audi, so technically it's GPS.
Okay, our last question on here is, however, if you guys want to see the whole world at once, would you want to use a world map or a globe if you wanted to see the whole world? What do you think, Crowley?
Globe, because you have to spin it.
You could spin it,
And
you could
Poland.
you could use both, but definitely a globe would maybe be easier for that one. Okay, Kinsley.
My dad has a map in his truck.
He does.
Like a big map that splits pages.
Like it flips pages.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good example. I'm glad he still has one. Okay, I'm gonna call on you four, and then we'll have to stop for today. And the rest of you just need to be respectful and listen to them. Okay, Braylon.
We don't. Well, it's basically a map, but we just use an atlas.
An atlas. Yep. That is basically like a map.
It's actually that.
Yep. How about Brooklyn?
My leg, I don't know, it's like kind of tall, but my mom, not my mom, my dad's mom, basically grandma, so she has a car, she still has that car, and it's like, it's not like hooked up to anything, so like, you know, like things that when you push like the wheel, like,
Wait, Brooklyn. Why are these friends talking? I'm not gonna call on you if you talk when your friends are talking. Brooklyn, try it again.
my grandma, has this car still, and, like, when you know when you, like most of your cars, like, when you push the button, like, the window goes up and down.
Yeah.
So, but my grandma has this thing that you have to push, up or down.
Do you have to roll it like this? It's one of those old car windows
Oh,
where you roll it.
my dad has to do that.
Oh, my dad used to have one,
Yeah.
but it broke down. Yeah.
Okay.
I have one.
All right.
I have to do that.
Libby.
How would people know to the map if they had a globe?
That would be
How would they know how to get there?
right. You would need more like a map. So like this was an atlas, like you were talking about, a book of maps, or
Or you could go.
this is an actual map. So like this is the state of Ohio, but this is an actual map that you would pull out and follow the roads. Okay, nope, not anymore. Quiet.
So like when me and my grandpa go on trekking trips together,
Yep.
hauling pigs. So we have to go to a few different towns, and then so we have to go to Elmore, then Lakota, then Amboy, then
You walk.
somewhere in Iowa.
Okay. Do you have to
Starts
use,
with an L. Illinois.
not Lakota? You already said Lakota.
Louise.
Algona?
Ledyard.
Ledyard? Okay, you think of it, but do you have to use a map to go with Grandpa on those trips?
I just, he knows the way, but I like to look at his maps and his.
That is awesome. That's a good experience for you. I'm great. I'm thankful that your grandpa lets you look at those maps because not many people look at maps anymore, so that's great. Corla.
My mom, she has this map on her phone, and whenever she does it, it has this voice and it says where to go.
It tells you where to go. That is perfect. That's exactly what you need to help you. Okay, last two, Kinsley and then Addie, and then we'll be done. Kinsley.
On the map is like four the same things.
What do you mean by for the same thing?
I don't know how to explain it.
How about you ask me, show me in just a minute, okay? All right, last thing, Addie.
How old are you?
How old? I'm pretty old.
You're the same age as my mom.
Miss Marcy, I know your real name, but
forgot.
Oh man.